Welcome back, everybody. Looks like we're kind of back early again. I make it 29 minutes past Jade. We keep like coming back a little bit early. So it's not yet quite half past. So we're gonna give everyone a chance to come back in. So let's just make sure we've got our timer so that it does do it, because it did it in the last session as well. But let's just hear from everyone in the chat. How's it going for you so far? Like, what has been your key takeaway from this morning? So drop in the chat your key takeaway from this morning, or something that you have maybe changed up that you are interested or excited about since this morning as well. So drop a little update for us in the chat. What is it that has been your key takeaway? What is it that you are excited about? Let's have a little look while we're waiting for everyone else to come back again and join us. It's coming up for half past now. Okay, so oh, no one's put anything in the chat yet. I thought I saw something move. So do drop, unless you're writing really long squeals. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe everyone's like typing really long notes for me. All right, Jillian said she loved the conditions of success. Can a mentor give me feedback on my enterprise promise? Yes, Jillian, let's unmute yourself. Let's hear where you're at. So grab your slide deck and unmute yourself.
Okay. Well, my landlord has completely rebuilt my internet network during these last day and a half, so I've missed quite chunks of it as the whole thing failed.
I thought this was your enterprise promise. I thought this was a new enterprise promise. My landlord has rebuilt my house.
Yeah.
So
have you managed to get into your slides, or are you just writing it?
Yeah, no, I've got into them now, and I've been catching up over lunchtime. But a lot of it obviously comes back to my my enterprise promise.
All right, what's the company name?
It's Anatomic Health Group.
Anatomic Health Group.
Yes.
Wow, that's a change. Okay, I'm curious to know what this is. All right, your Anatomic Health Group, and your enterprise promise
is the future of podiatry in the UK.
Okay, so last time I spoke to you, you were doing business processes, systems, helping people grow their businesses as city leader of Birmingham. And now, are you a podiatrist?
No, but I have partnered one. So instead of improving everybody else's business, we're acquiring our own businesses to improve.
Ah, okay. So this
my
is
partner is a podiatrist.
Ah, so is this a new acquisition, or is this your partner's business?
Yeah, well, the first one is her business, but I've been doing a year's course on buying businesses, so it's an acquisition strategy.
All right. Okay. So so why have you called it Anatomic Health if it's about feet?
Because pretty much every foot name you could think of has been taken. And we want to actually move it away from just feet, because it's about limbs, it's about the whole skeleton. Our feet supports everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's the problem that you're solving?
Well, the podiatry business industry is in crisis at the moment. There's not enough podiatrists. There's a need for more and more services. So
that's a problem for the podiatrist, not for the customer. What's the problem for the customer?
Oh, okay. Well, the customers, they're needing more and more podiatry services. They've been going to the GPs because there hasn't been the marketing, if you like there has been in the dentistry industry.
That's not a problem for the customer either, right? They just go somewhere else. So what's the actual problem that the customer has? So it's going to be something around their foot that's going to be a problem for them, right?
Well, their feet are not being cared for, so they're not walking. They can't keep active.
Okay, that doesn't really sound like the actual problem either. So, and I'm thinking about somebody who came to master.
Diabetes means that if their feet aren't treated, they lose their legs. They can lose their lives.
That's what can happen. That's what can happen, right? But it's not necessarily the problem that you wake up with in the morning thinking that you're going to lose your feet and die. So that's probably not what you're waking up worrying about. But that is like something that can happen, which is a scare tactic. Yeah. But what's the problem that the clients actually wake up with? Like, what are they thinking about that makes them go think that they need some help and they need a podiatrist?
Well, their feet hurt, they're in pain, their toes are twisting, they're getting bunions.
Right.
They can't walk, they can't wear their fancy shoes.
Yes.
They don't look great anymore. They can't dance.
They're
all
having
of those
back
things.
problems, leg problems, neck problems. It's all actually linked
They
to their
can't
feet.
run.
Their feet are the two limbs that have to hold their entire body up their entire life. And if we don't take care of those, then you can lose your feet and die. All right. So, all right, so there's the problem. All right, what's the promise?
So the customer promise is we aim to get you back on your feet and pain-free so you can get on with your life.
We get you back on your feet and pain-free so you can get back on with your life. All right. Within how long?
Well, it depends on what the treatment is, the problem, but 80%.
What's different about your podiatrist to every other podiatrist? Because they all say that.
Okay, because we're offering a tiered service so that they don't have to, so it's preventative as well as resolving actual problems.
So all podiatrists that I know do that.
Yeah.
What are you doing that's unique and different?
Well, we're offering health. We're staffing with foot health practitioners, so it's cheaper, so they can come more often. We also offer a pamper service, so it's an experience like going to the hairdresser, the equivalent of going to the hairdressers.
My podiatrist does that. So I'm looking for your unique point of difference.
Well, I think probably because we're actually using more equipment, more technology. We're actually
equipment technology that's different.
Laser is one of the main ones.
Laser, a lot of physios use. So is that something that's different for podiatrists, or is that
a lot of podiatrists? You might have a good podiatrist, and but there's 2/3 of the podiatry or owners are over the age of 55, so they've not been keeping up with education, with the latest techniques, and they're certainly not training their replacements. And so that's a key part of ours, is the education side.
Education side. All right. Well, then I'd be building a community around this. I'd be building a community around the whole prevention side, around like all the techniques, around like having your best health, living your best life, like standing up in the most effective way as well. You can have a whole load of online content with that as well. But actually where you're building a community where people are like really getting to understand. This is something that allows you to create the whole digital business as well, which brings in the customers through the door, but also could allow you to sell other products too. So you've really got to be thinking about what you're doing that's different, right? And this is for everyone. Like if you haven't established yet.
Sorry, go on.
If you haven't established yet what your unique point of difference is, like go research, go look at what the other people in your industry are doing. Like go look at like the top 10 podiatrists in the UK and see what it is they're doing different. Now, I do know that technology. Yeah, right. Okay. So I do know that technology is something that will hold some of you apart. There's quite a lot of new technology in the world. And the reason I know that is because we had a podiatrist at Masters just a year ago.
Yes, Karen Longworth.
Karen, right. Okay, Karen. So
yeah, I've connected with her. She's one of my advisors.
Well, Karen knows all the latest technology and she has been like implementing that. And her salon is probably the leading salon in London. So she's able to actually say that because of the technology and because of the different practitioners that she actually uses as well.
And she's working with me on this.
But your question was about the enterprise promise. So I definitely think that yours at the moment is like a little bit boring. The future of quality foot care in the UK.
Yeah.
That's a bit boring. But I would say like if your enterprise promise was like the UK's leading provider getting you back on your feet, or the UK's or getting you back on your feet, like something like that. I definitely have that, which you've got in your customer promise.
Right.
I definitely have something like that around the enterprise promise because it's more funky. And it even kind of potentially explains what it is as well.
Okay, thank you.
But I would question the business name Anatomic Health Group, because that does sound like it's not actually anything to do with a podiatrist, and does sound like it's a group of companies. So I'd look at like actually having something to do with just like the actual business name as well.
Okay.
Groovy.
Yeah, Gilby and there were a couple of suggestions, and one of them I had a suggestion like Happy Feet. Maybe that's what you did. consider, but there are different suggestions for the name. But if it's
Yes.
back to your feet,
Trouble is, almost every name you can think of has already been taken. So we had to try and find something that was unique. So,
well,
but I'll take that on board.
I definitely think it's worth having a look, but what you've got at the moment, whilst it's unique, it doesn't actually say what you do, and it's more of a group holding company. So I think definitely like have a little look at those business names. All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Gillian. All right, well, people are dropping some stuff in the chat now, although I think mostly they're talking about feet now as opposed to what, okay, so we've got a couple of things. So Ivana has said energy's approach and conditions for success. Joseph said he's fine-tuned the enterprise promise and processed all the parts. So I'd expect nothing less from you. Laura saying put your pictures back on. Jude said, aha, with my revised EP, it can do with a niche, for example. London's leading business automation agency for educators. It's a difficult one to say that, Jude. This is what I'm struggling with. Like, you can write it, but when you actually try and say it, London's leading business automation agency for educators, it's like you have to keep enunciating as you're saying it. But I think it's heading in the right direction. It's nice and short, and I do like the London's leading something, something, something. And I think the fact it is for educators, you can definitely put that in there as well. But I think the business automation agency is struggling. So London's leading automation agency for educators, or London's leading automation something for educators. Yeah, I think you probably just need to drop the business bit. All right, groovy. Okay, conditions of success was rather easy for a change. Well, that's great, Yoka. All right, I'm hoping that's because you've kind of broken through and decided what you want to do, so you can let us know that as well in the chat. Lara would love some feedback on our enterprise promise. All right, well, we're going to move on at this section. So as you move back into your groups, you can do that as well in your groups when we offer to give some feedback, and or when you get a chance to step up in the larger session. So we are moving on again. And now we are moving on to our next part, which is the partner promise. The partner promise, we have got a super special guest to come through and do the video for the partner promise. She is actually the Chief Partnerships Officer for Genius Group and has helped to build a partnership community of over 7,000 partners and affiliates. So I'm very excited to be introducing you to me. Michelle Clark is going to be doing this video on partnerships. So Jan, let's roll VT.
Let's do it.
Everyone, Michelle here again. All right, let's go through the next promise, which is the partner promise. All right, here I've got my slide. So this is the partner promise. So on this slide, we're going to be putting together the promise to our partners, those people that we're actually collaborating with, who are helping us to grow our business. Typically, those that we're partnering with, like you can be expecting, if you're creating partnerships at this green level, you can be expecting at least 20 to 30% of revenues to be coming from your partnerships. Certainly, that's been a oh dear, what happened, Jan? Yeah, we've had more people turning to us because we have such solid ways that we do create partnerships and such solid ways that we allow people to generate revenues. So at within certain promotions, it's been as high as 40 and 50%. So if you are not yet partnering, I definitely am looking forward to seeing that you have a partner promise and that you're looking at ways that you can be building your partnerships in this next 12 months as well. So ways that you can be partnering with people is making sure that you have something that is really awesome that you can actually be sharing and that your partners can be sharing as well. We call this your treasure chest. And it's something that you have within your business, which is unique to you, that the more you share it, the more you actually make, and the more you share it, the more it grows. And of course, we have lots of things within our treasure chest. Within Genius U, we've got the Genius test, we've got our wealth dynamics test, the talent dynamics test, the purpose test, the passion test. All of these things are shareable and allow this to grow through our partnership. So definitely be thinking about what it is that you have that is unique to you and that is very easy for everyone else to be out there sharing and growing as well. Now, there's 4 types of businesses, and the way that the easiest way for you to look at who should you be partnering with, this is a question I get asked a lot, you know, who should I partner with? How should I be creating partnerships? The easiest way to do this is to first of all understand the type of business that you have. So during this exercise, I'm going to go through these 4 types of businesses, and I really want you to be writing down which is the type of business that you think you have. And then when we have the mentoring, we can go through an example and answer your questions and see where you're at. Now, ideally, you want to have a company that is in one of these boxes, not in 2 boxes. So let me share a little bit more about it, and I'll tell you what these different types are and the way that you can check which one you are, which is how you generate your revenue. So we've got the first one here, which is a product-based business. So this is a business that is selling a series of widgets, right? Product widgets. And you'll know you're a product-based business because people are paying a specific dollar price per product. It's the same price every time that they're purchasing it. So Wealth Dynamics and Talent Dynamics, they're both product-based businesses where people are going out and purchasing the profile test over and over again, $97. Just consistently, there's no change. It's very easy. They just go in and purchase that product. Talent Dynamics Flow Consultant certification is a product. So people are purchasing the certification for $1,500. It's the same certification that everybody does. They go online and take the certification and get their qualification at the end of it. But it's the same product, and we can sell multiple numbers of those products to generate our revenue. So if you're a product-based business, you're typically going to be measuring the way you generate your cash by looking at the dollars you make per product. So $97 for a Wealth Dynamics test, $1,500 for a Flow Consultant, and you can have a variety of those products that you're selling looking at that per product. Now, a market-based business would be measuring itself by the dollar per customer that it generates. So typically market-based businesses, like examples would be lots of training companies, coaching companies, where they're specifically looking at each time they get with a customer, they're creating a specific proposal for that customer, making it very specific to what that customer is looking for, how they can make an improvement for that customer, giving them a proposal and a specific price point. So it's very, very focused at what that customer's needs are very specifically. Unlike Flow Consultant, which is just the same for everyone to go through, with the market-based business, it means you're sitting down with a customer and really focusing at what is the training or what is the support that they're actually needing. So market-based business is often training, coaching type businesses. And you can see how you're tracking because you're looking at the dollar you're making per customer. And the way to increase that is to make sure that you're getting more dollars for each customer, so charging a higher price point. If you're a location-based business, this one's fairly straightforward because it's typically that you're in a location. So location-based, like so Vision Villas is a location-based business. Tau Game Lodge is a location-based business. Maybe like, if you're a doctor's or garage or something. So you have a location where people come to that place, and you're tracking your revenue by looking at what's the dollar you make per square meter, or what's the occupancy that you're having on that location as well. Contribution based is below there as well. That's actually the Spirit one. So that's where you're measuring a dollar per impact. So a contribution based organization, something like B1G1, Buy One Give One, where they're looking at what is the dollar value per impact that's being given as well. So maybe you have a contribution based business. And then on the steel side, you have the transaction based business. So this is where they're measuring the dollar per transaction, or another way of describing it would be that like the average basket. So companies like Amazon are transaction-based businesses where they're looking at, what's the average spend somebody's coming when they actually get to the shop. Genius U is a transaction-based business as well. And so they're looking at ways, how can they get you to put something else in your basket to increase the average basket conversion. So these are the types of businesses. The contribution based is like the additional one in there. I know it says 4 types, so there's that additional one. So start thinking like, which one are you? And just write down which one you think you are, so that when we get into the mentoring, we can have a conversation around that. But the key here is that when you know which type of business you are, it's much easier to look at the way that you should be partnering and who you should be partnering with to create the most leverage. Because whatever is the value that you have, which is your unique value based on the type of business you are, there's a way that you can leverage that with one of the other or several of the other types of businesses. So some examples. So like I said, Talent Dynamics is a product-based business. So the Flow Consultant is a product within Talent Dynamics. The Performance Consultant is a product. The Talent Dynamics Profile Test, they're all products within talent dynamics, which makes it a product-based business. And so we went straight out and partnered with people who had market-based training companies and coaching companies. So those people were saying, well, I've got all the customers and the dollars per customer, but what I'm looking for is I'm looking for new products, innovative products, exciting products that I can bring to my market and still keep my customer and control the customer and the brand and the relationship with them, but I can actually bring them things that are unique and innovative. So we partnered with lots of training and coaching companies, and the partnerships go both ways, right? So the market-based business gets to partner with the product-based business and vice versa. Now, location-based businesses are always looking to create partnerships as well. And they can be, so they've also created partnerships with lots of training companies. So, you know, Vision Villas and Tau Game Lodge are always partnering with organizations and event companies that are creating events and bringing more people to the actual location where they can actually be running the events. Right now, you know, Entrepreneur Resorts is also partnering with Health Dynamics, with Joe Formosa's company, which is a product-based company where they're actually bringing the products to their location so that people can actually experience taking the herbs, and they can also experience having a live detox while they're actually staying there and eating all of the great food which is on the Ayurvedic menu there. And then transaction-based business, so Genius U. Genius U is partnering with pretty much all of these actually. So Genius U goes out to the mentors, many of them which are market-based, and says, hey, come over here, you know, bring your market over here, look after your community within our circle, or bring your products if you're a product-based business over here, and, you know, have your products within Genius U where you can access all of the customers that we have as well. So knowing which type of business you have allows you to really think through strategically, what are the types of partnerships that you want to be creating in this next 12 months. And I know that's like I said, it's the biggest question people are usually asking me. So let's get into that now. Start to write down what you think is the type of business you are and who are the types of businesses that you think you should be out there partnering with as well. And then you're going to come and put your partner promise together. So here's the Genius U partner promise. So again, you're going to be writing this to your partners so that they can see what is the value that they're going to be getting from partnering with you. So Genius U is already the world's #1 entrepreneur success platform, and each entrepreneur has their own online genie to guide them through their journey as an entrepreneur. Genius U is now set up to be your one-stop platform partner with world-class client data and marketing management tools to grow your global business. We give you the tools that no one else is giving you now, and we provide them in a one easy-to-access platform. We'll help you organize all of your client data to make it more intelligent and within a smarter network. We've got over 1.5 million members, 2,000 mentors, 1,000 leaders, and we're growing by over 2,000 members per day. We'll provide you with the best platform focused at driving targeted warm traffic to you. In return, you provide us with cutting-edge industry standard programs and products that you refresh and update based on your customers' experience. So you can see in the partner promise there, it's very much what we're going to provide for them, but at the end, it's also like, what are they going to do for us? So we actually ask that the partners also make a commitment. And one thing to note for all of you, I know we've got a lot of partners who are actually going through Wealth Dynamics Masters. So those of you who are level 1, 2, 3 partners with us, definitely make sure in your partner promise that you're making some commitment back to Genius Group as well as to what it is that you're going to be doing and how you're going to be a great partner as well. So have a think about that. So now you've got some time to go and create your partner promise and find out how your partners are profiting from your treasure chest. And then let's open this up to some mentoring and get some feedback and questions on that as well. All right, that's it from me. Ciao for now.
All right, thanks, Michelle. That's kind of weird. She's still smiling. All right, so a couple of people have dropped into the chat what they think their business is, but most people haven't. So either that's because you weren't listening or you don't know. So I'm gonna guess that you're all listening and that you don't know. So let's just open this up now for questions around this, or for someone who wants to say, well, we'll take a couple of examples of people who are like either not sure or are sure. You can open up and tell me what kind of business you are, and therefore what kind of businesses you think you should be partnering with. Crickets.
Michelle, I don't mind representing GIFU.
Hey,
to say
Catherine.
I think we are. Hello.
All right, what kind of business do you think you are and why?
So we think we're a product-based business, and we were having a conversation just now around just clarifying, like we did this on Masters last time, but then I heard you say something like coaches are market-based business, and that kind of went, oh, coaches are market-based business. But I think what I distinguished is that because in GIFU we have a core curriculum. Like we're not just one-to-one coaches. Like we don't just go out and coach people on their lives, or we don't customize per customer. It's like the focus is on the product and bringing the customers to the product.
Yeah, you are a product-based business, and for that reason, because you have a number of products that people just pay a specific price for. It's the same price everyone's paying, and what you're looking for is how many products you can sell, how many people you can get on your circle, how many people you can get through your constellation program. So you're definitely a product-based business. What are you thinking, like, as to who you should be partnering with?
Probably partners that can connect us to the market.
So which type of business? So specifically on the full time. So if you're a product-based business, you probably don't want to partner with product-based businesses who are just going to bring more products. You're like, well, now we're competing, because now the clients have got to decide whether they buy my products or your products. So you probably don't want to partner with a product-based business. Like, who would you want to partner with?
My best guess is a market-based.
You want to partner with market-based businesses, because market-based businesses have got lots of customers and they're working with their customers, but they don't have so many products. So their market-based businesses are looking, well, what's the most innovative, cutting-edge products that I could bring to my community that would be of real value to them?
And I was thinking about our current partners now when I was answering that question, what kind of business they are, and they're market-based.
Groovy. All right, great. Got it. Thank you, Catherine. All right, who else wants to share what they think they are?
I will. Lara.
Hey, Lara.
I think we're definitely product-based.
You're a product-based business. So Lara's the company that does the recycled, sustainable, glass-blown, beautiful products, right? So they're actual products. You go to the website and they're looking at how many products they can be selling. Now, what about like, what do you think is the difference between why you're a product-based business and not a transaction-based business?
Because we actually have a physical product that we're giving, well, a client pays us if we give them a product, no?
So the transaction-based businesses. So Amazon is a transaction-based business, and what they're doing is they're trying to increase the average spend that people purchase. So are you more focused at like selling the revenue per product line, or are you more focused at how you can increase an overall basket spend?
I mean, I think every business is trying to increase the basket spend, but for us, it's more the product, I think, definitely.
You think definitely? Because every business is not looking to increase their dollar per transaction, by the way. So Catherine's business is doing that. Catherine is just looking to get more people to buy the same products at the same price point. They're not looking for people to buy 2 or 3 products at a time. They're just looking for more people to buy that product. So when someone comes to your site, do you want them to just buy the one product, or do you want them to buy multiple products?
Multiple. We'd like them to buy a set of glasses or something like, build sets and gifting, and we're trying to actually put more products available for people to buy. So,
all right. Are they all your own products, or are they other people's products as well?
99% of them are our own products.
All right. And do you see that that's your model going forward?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So it's definitely worth thinking, like, do you want to be transaction-based or product-based? And so, and again, the difference is like who you're going to partner with. Because if you're a transaction-based company where you're looking at the dollar per transaction, you can be bringing other people's products in as well and saying, hey, we just want you to be buying as many things that you find really useful as possible in one go. And we're trying to find things that you like, that we're just driving you to be purchasing more in that one spend, which is exactly what Amazon does, exactly what Genius Shoe does, exactly what a lot of the major kind of like online shops are doing as well.
Currently, it is mainly just our product. What we are doing at the moment, we're busy building a new product that involves other people's products, but we're purchasing those products from them as a wholesale client, and then adding them to our own product and selling as like a set.
Okay, all right, so you're gonna be product based. So who should you be partnering with then?
Well, at the moment, what I've written down as our partners is more like, so we have area agents, so we have people that sell our products to our wholesale clients around the country and some overseas as well. So I think they're a partner.
So you're looking at these 4 types of businesses. Which are the types of businesses that you're partnering with? So where do you like your wholesale partners fit in?
Location based.
Not so much, because those people are traveling around and doing all. So location is if you were selling directly to a hotel, which you have done in the past. So that would be a location based partner, somebody who actually is in a location, is making purchases. So that definitely
So that's our agent.
Yeah, but your agent. So your agents are in just one hotel.
No, so our agents, like, we'll have an agent. I'm actually one of our agents as well in the Western Cape. So I deal with all the wholesale clientele down here. I drive around and find new clientele for Ngwenya. We have one in the UK. We have at least one in most continents, actually.
So they're market based. They're out there looking for more customers. What about if you were to partner with transaction based, like an Amazon or a Genius U?
Our agents, actually, we have an agent that has put us onto Amazon, but that's his client.
But what if you were to do that partnership directly? Because you're so those companies are looking to partner directly with the product-based companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we do have that. One of my clients is actually an Amazon type thing here in South Africa. So those transaction based.
Yeah. So if you are
so would our wholesale clients be partner?
Yeah, but your wholesale clients are still like a partner, so they're purchasing because they're reselling, right? So either they're becoming product-based companies in their own right, where they're just reselling yours, or they're market-based because they have like multiple products that they're selling into their community.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. But if you're partnering with the likes of Amazon or companies like that, then you're partnering with those transaction-based companies. So you can be pretty much partnering with everyone. Which one's your most successful right now?
I would not. Kathy would know that. I would probably say our. Oh, they're so different. Probably our transaction based. We have quite a big client here that's like in Amazon in South Africa. Where do
you think you should be focusing the most effort for growth? Do you think you should have more agents in the field? Do you think you should have more places where people can find the products?
More places where people can find the products.
Great. Okay, so that's where you can be focusing your time, right? All right, awesome. Thank you, Lara.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Anyone else not sure still? Greg's got his hand up. Hey, Greg.
Hi there. We predominantly involved in putting high-end security electronic systems into the mining sector. We bring products in, so we obviously import, install, commission, and then do service and maintenance of those. As I say, mostly mine-based.
Okay, and where do you think you sit? Are you product-based or market-based, location-based or transaction-based?
I would say product-based with what we bring in, and also, but yeah, I would say product-based.
Yeah, so you're product-based, but you also are offering then additional services to your client.
Correct. Yeah. With the services and maintenance and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah. Are they set up as separate companies, or are they all in one company?
They're in. It's a bit of a mix, but ultimately falls under one umbrella, one company.
Do you sell the maintenance as a set price package and people just buy that off the shelf like they do with like a washing machine?
No, it's part and parcel that goes on after the installation. Understanding that the mines are obviously a bigger install that goes with it. And from that, part of the sales package is the maintenance and the service level agreement that follows on.
So you have a bit of product-based and a bit of market-based.
Correct.
So which
Correct.
one do you think you should be as your primary?
Product base is all good, but that's a lot of the time it's pretty much a once-off and once the system's in. But from a recurring income, the agreements are the ones that are signed for 2-3 years at a time, and with that goes quite a lot of resale with replacements, repairs, expansions, that side of things.
Yeah. And so you bring the products in from all different suppliers?
Correct.
So you're basically partnering with those product-based companies to get the best products in, to make sure that you're actually a market-based company that's generating, you're measuring dollar per customer rather than dollar per product. So you're going, how much can I generate from each mine?
Correct. Correct. That's pretty much where we are.
Can I sell this customer a bigger contract where they'll spend more money this time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you're predominantly market-based. So you're already partnering with product-based. Is there any other partnerships you can create?
Yeah, good question. That's where we sort of trying to put our head around that and just see if there are other opportunities out there.
Are there other product-based businesses that you can be bringing to the mines?
Look, we're pretty expansive with not just what we, as I say, not just with the security side. We do a whole lot more on other things called collision avoidance, belt trip system monitoring on belt conveyor belts and things like that. So we have expanded our offerings. So and now we're going into fire and other things that go with it. So we have been building up onto that, but they're still product based and us marketing them.
That's great, but you're still a market-based company who's still tracking how can you make more money per customer, and you're bringing the best product in. And when you think about your company and say, well, you know, I protect my clients because I'm making my dollar per customer, so I'm going to make sure I bring the latest, most innovative, most like incredible products to my clients. So I'm going to be out there. So when you're looking at the partnership side, you're researching who are the best quality partners that you can be working with, so that you're constantly bringing to your customers the best products that they can be finding on the marketplace, which means they want to stay with you because they don't have to go research that and find it. They know that you just become the place that they go to, but you're still able to charge dollar per customer and you don't need to create anything.
Exactly. Yeah, look, a big sort of, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but our big thing is obviously cutting edge, which is where technology is going. Cutting
edge mining, love it.
Yeah. Excuse the pun, correct.
You should totally have that in your enterprise promise.
There we go. You see, you've added something new.
It's an old one, but a good one. All right, awesome.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Thanks.
All right, awesome. Anyone else? All right. Okay. Everyone clear? All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to break into our breakout groups. And if there's any further questions on what type of business, it's really important, by the way, to know exactly the type of business you are. It is really important because this is how you are going to create your partnerships going forward. And it's not just as simple as saying, oh, I'm going to partner with this company. It's like, what's the type of company? The minute you know the type of company you can partner with, you can make a list of hundreds of them and then go out and decide who are the best ones. But knowing what type of business you are. And for those of you who are thinking you're a little bit of both businesses, that's a little mistake because, you know, just like we were having that conversation there with Greg, it's like choose where you are actually, because that's where you know that you're tracking your customers. It's where you know how you're tracking your P&L, and it allows you to go create those partnerships. A product-based business and a market-based business are different businesses. They require different sales and marketing. They require a different team. They require different everything. So the minute you think you're crossing over two, it's really important. You either have two separate companies, which some of you do, because there are people here who've got companies that are in a group. So you might find the companies within a group are different ones. Within our group, we do have multiple ones. So we've got Wealth Dynamics and Talent Dynamics product-based business. We've got Genius Shoes transaction-based business. We've got our resorts location-based business. So yeah, and we partner with all the market base. So we basically go out and create all the partners who bring all the markets to us. City leaders, city hosts, event partners, like our 7,000 partners, flow consultants, performance consultants, they're all market-based partners who come partner with us and help build the community for us to continue being each of these as well. All right, awesome. So on that then, Jan, anything else you want to add that I have missed off?
I just wanted to add that you know, each of the type of businesses has products, customers, and maybe a location and so forth. So this is not like I'm a market business because I have customers, or I'm a product business because I have products. That's not a distinguishing factor.
No.
It's what is the essence of the value, right? It's the essence of the value that your business provides. It's also the area that you focus on. Like what Michelle was talking about is that Initially, when we started Talent Dynamics, we started as a market-based, and it was a very different type of business, because we took the one product and then we were chasing clients and giving them some customized solution and so forth. It required a very different focus, very different team, very different sales process. And then the shift basically created an opportunity for someone else. So a shift to product-based business created opportunity to all the consultants and coaches who were actually providing customized solutions. And so it was like creating a larger pizza, larger market, just by focusing on one area. So I wanted to emphasize this because,
yeah,
you know, there will be already a business that you already have, even though if you don't see it, it's already there because you're already selling, you're already serving some way. So it's a question, do you want to distinguish it and keep it, or you want to distinguish it and change it?
Good point. All right, awesome. That's a good point. Okay, so we are in a moment going to go into our breakout groups, and we will be coming back here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. We were going to do an example run through the actual partner promise. My bad. Yeah, I've still got a little bit extra to do here. Sorry. I thought I was ahead of time. All right. So I would like someone to now share with me their partner promise. So given that you have now established what your company type is and who you're partnering with, I'd like to see an example or hear an example of your partner promise. So who has not yet had a chance to share and is feeling fairly confident with where you're going and is ready to now share what is going on for your partner promise? Does the silence mean you are not clear, or you just do not want to share? Anyone who's not feeling clear at this point, please drop into the chat to say not feeling clear still, so I can see who's not feeling clear.
Just put NC, not clear.
Just put in the chat. Just put in the chat not feeling clear, because we're going to make sure that everybody at some point is feeling clear. Okay, all right. There's a couple of not feeling clears, and anyone who's feeling reasonably clear, drop in reasonably clear. So you're either not clear, or you're reasonably clear, or you're super clear. So drop in there if you're not clear, reasonably clear, or super clear. So everyone should be putting in some kind of response at this point. All right. So, and by the way, Laura, if you can just capture this for me at some place so we can see like who we want to definitely make sure we're getting some time with as well. Okay. Jan is, I'm clear with the type of business, but not clear with my promise. All right. Matt is reasonably clear, working through it. Ronnie's so clear. Okay. Laura's not clear. Okay. Elliot's not clear. Quite a few people still not clear. Reasonably clear, reasonably clear, need refinement. Reasonably clear, not sure about my promises. Clear on type, not promise. Okay, clear as mud. Clear, is that a good thing, clear as mud? I'm not sure. Is clear as mud clear or not? I don't know if mud's clear. I don't know. Quite clear, not clear. All right, okay. So in that case then, I am going to come over to Petonk NXT, who is reasonably clear but needs refinement. So I would love to hear from you on your partner promise. But let's just capture as well, Laura, those folks who are still not clear, that we want to make sure we're getting some time with as well at some point. So who is Petonk? Is that Michelle, or is that Vincent, or is that Marlena?
I think I'll give it a go.
Michelle, all right, great.
I was hoping you would.
So let's start with company name, enterprise promise, a rundown on your customer promise, and then let's get into your partner promise.
We are really battling with the enterprise promise. So we've come up with a few more.
Do you want to give us the company name first, then enterprise promise?
The company name is Petonk NXT. Petonk is a game. And the resonance with the game is that the bull are the tactics that you apply to improve or that we apply to help our customers have a better business.
Okay.
So
okay. Let's go through your enterprise promise. So it looks like you've got a selection of enterprise promises here.
Yeah, so far something around that space.
Engineering the business of tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, and then our customer promise, I think, is fairly clear.
Hold on, let's go back to your enterprise promise, because you've got like 4 there. So, so is that your favorite one, the leading partner in engineering?
I think that was one of, in fact, it was leading partner in crafting the business of tomorrow or in engineering.
I like you're the leading partner in engineering the business tomorrow. I do like that. I think that's the best one so far.
Okay.
I think building economies one business at a time doesn't talk about what you're really doing. Engineering tomorrow one business at a time sounds like you can only do one job at a time, so I don't like that. With a leading partner in exploring the business of tomorrow, that sounds like you're just thinking about things. Partnerships are collaborative relations. We are in it together, making it work. So the leading partner in engineering the business of tomorrow, because that definitely sounds more forward thinking and more kind of like futuristic. But I wonder whether tomorrow is as good as something that's a bit more futuristic. But okay, so that's where we're up to. All right, leading partner. So the leading partner in engineering the business of tomorrow. All right, and what have you got as your customer promise?
Future business.
Engineering your journey to the business of tomorrow.
Sorry, no, your customer promise. So we start with the problem first of all.
Much has changed. You are feeling overwhelmed and not getting the results out of your strategies, or simply need new ideas. You need different.
Much has changed. You're feeling results out of your strategies, or simply need new ideas. So are you helping people just get creative now?
We come up with better ways of doing things and we implement those things.
Okay, all right. So what's the promise?
The promise is engineering your journey or your digital journey, because sometimes people think they need to go digital and then they just need to readdress their processes. So engineering your journey to the business of tomorrow.
Okay, all right. And your product?
Viewing the business from 6 angles: our innovative storyboard business destination mapping, our VisPro process mapping, and Society 5.0 engineering clears business blockages.
So that sounds like a kind of a promise and some product in there as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the proof?
Products. The proof is 19 years of making a difference in multiple transformation projects with measurable change delivered to an extensive client portfolio. So
that's the proof of you guys. Can you give me a proof story of a client? So the proof is always like the customer proof, like one customer who's you've created this change for.
Where did we put that, Vincent? It was in here yesterday. Your proof.
Slide 33. Next one.
Yeah. A global fast-moving consumer goods company based in the UK was experiencing challenging with accounting automation. We mapped the processes that are troublesome and completed the implementation of new low-code automation into the processes. In the words of the client, thanks to Laureen, we've been progressing with great speed. I have to say this is probably the best agile project I've been involved with.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. And the purpose?
We build economies one business at a time, working towards no poverty. Successful businesses that bring value are our aim.
Okay, so I'm wondering here, because this sounds very similar to what your customer promise was 6 months ago. Like, what has changed, is different, unique, that is allowing you to scale in the way that you want to?
We have deconstructed the Netherlands business and have 2 focus areas now. The first one is the automation one, which is then fully focused on by my business partners, and then the current business is going to do the wider product that what the other 2 companies in South Africa are doing. So what we see here is more the Patonk brand stuff, and the automation part, which was one of our practices, is now hiving off into a separate business. So that declutters a whole lot of promises for me.
Okay. How does it really help you to build working towards no poverty?
Sure. You just broke up there. Just say that again.
How does what you're doing really build economies towards ending no poverty?
Because if business succeed and don't close down, they generate income, they employ people, the money gets spent, there's a velocity that happens. So for every business that we work with, our main aim is to leave them in a stronger position than what they were before.
Feels a little tenuous for $100 million like purposeful business. And I'm challenging on it because it does feel pretty much like just more nicer wordsmith than it was 6 months ago, right? And I'm just gonna throw this out here. And this isn't like, again, this is my words, not yours, but I'm gonna throw it out here because what I heard and what I kind of reimagined when you were talking about this was a company that is actually directly looking at the problem, which is not that much has changed and you're feeling overwhelmed, but is directly looking at the problem of like inequality, the fact that there isn't enough money flowing from, within like the right institutions, that governments are probably not going to be the organizations who actually fix this, but entrepreneurs and business owners are. And the biggest challenge you have right now in order to grow your business and actually grow to a size where you can really, double in size, employ the right number of people, actually make a significant difference in your community and really create an impact in your community, is that you just don't have the tools at your fingertips to allow that whole digital transformation to happen at ease.
Well, that I would say is a second objective, but from the day that we started this business, it was to make sure that businesses grow, and it comes from having seen that businesses fail because of very basic things. And for me, the biggest thing remains that in a world that corporate is no longer going to be the place that generates the wealth, it's got to be businesses, small to medium sized. So in a sense, what you're saying is what we're doing.
It's not what you've had, what's on your slides or what you said. That's why I asked.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is for it to be something much more deliberate, which changes your enterprise promise, which changes, because at the moment you've got the lead. What did I have the enterprise promise? The leading something for engineering the business of tomorrow. The leading partner in crafting the business of tomorrow, the leading partner in engineering the business of tomorrow in the future. I mean, that's still talking about the actual business. It's still not actually talking about shifting like the inequality in the world. It's still not talking about like allowing entrepreneurs to create the change, to be the change in the world. And I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, you don't have to do anything with it because, sometimes I just get too big for my boots. But that's what I heard you talk about when you said you wanted to be $100 million turnover company.
Yeah, and same point. The more businesses that succeed, the more they want us to work with them, the more they refer us to others. So absolutely.
That's still not my point either. So talent dynamics, like I had the #1 business development pathway for accelerating trust and flow. And then I decided that wasn't a big enough enterprise promise. And I was like, actually, why am I really doing what I'm doing? And I thought the reason I'm really creating what I'm creating and building talent dynamics is not because I want businesses to just learn how to accelerate trust and flow. It's because I actually believe that trust underpins everything in the world. And if we had more trust in the world, and that governments and industries and people and the whole world understood how to trust, and kids were taught how to trust from an early age, we'd eradicate war. We'd actually eradicate conflict as well. And we'd actually live in a really peaceful society where we can collaborate with one another, where governments don't remain like controlling their own countries and taking care and collaborating and just, doing their own thing and remaining independent, but we'd become an interdependent society who'd all work together. And that was where my whole thinking started to shift. And I was like, okay, let's bring talent dynamics into Genius Group and allow it to spread and grow even faster and further, and let's create something that's actually more deep and meaningful than just helping businesses to make more money. But at the same time, we can still help businesses to make more money. So almost that became the secondary purpose. It became the secondary enterprise promise. Anywho, I'm going to leave that with you. Let's come back to your partner promise then.
Thanks, Vincent, for progressing that. And partner promise over there. So that was our previous promise. So we partner with local and global smart tech and network players who share our values to achieve transformation and digitization for clients through business process improvement. And our promise then is we strive to leverage the partnerships and provide the information structures and models for collaboration so that the added capacity they bring to our portfolio and pipeline provides them as a reciprocal, a profitable entry and revenue share into new markets, clients, and projects, the opportunity to learn from one another, the benefits we aim to derive from effective collaboration projects, and a collaboration that impacts also their growth targets.
Okay. Which kind of company do you see yourself as?
It's quite interesting that in the last year, we get pulled into a delivery stream where we play a specific role. So it's hardly ever that we just go and do something by ourselves. We get called by our partners to come and help them with a piece they don't do, but what we do. So each one of these companies has brought those things about.
So what kind of company are you? Are you location-based, transaction-based?
We're a market-based.
You're market-based. All right. And who do you see as the partners? What kind of companies are they? Are they product-based, contribution-based, location-based, transaction-based?
More and more product-based, who doesn't want to do the implementation. So they give us software. We go and put the software in, and then we teach people and we maintain.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see there's a way that you could grow through licensing your model as well?
I suppose, yeah. Haven't thought that.
Mm-hmm. So again, going back to what we did with Talent Dynamics, we actually had people asking us if they could learn to do what we were doing. So Jan and I were basically going out and running programs with clients, and we were a market-based business, like he said, where we were charging dollar per customer, same as you are right now. And then we had some of our customers saying, well, can you actually teach us how to do this? And I was like, no, why would I do that? You won't want to work with us. And Roger was like, you should totally do that. You should license the model and teach people how to do it. I was like, what? Why would I do that? He's like, well, because you can grow faster. So I was like, can I? So I went out and we trained the first 10 flow consultants, and they loved it. And then more people came and said, how do we get trained? And all of a sudden Flow Consult was born. We actually made more money in 1 quarter by turning ourselves into a product-based business than we'd made like the whole of the previous year as a market-based business. And the whole thing then switched from being market-based to product-based. And now we have licensed practitioners all around the world who are flow consultants, performance consultants, level 1, 2, 3 partners, country leaders. We've done that for Wealth Dynamics as well. And the whole thing has grown way beyond what it could have done with us keeping it as a market-based company.
Yeah, it's certainly something that we could add to the strategy. I think for me, the biggest thing right now is what's become quite clear for us is our business. And if I could just take one last minute, where is that thing? If you look at the genius that we have as people in the business, you can see we're quite heavy on the creative and on the systems, mechanics, the structure side. So with that strength, we find that we're partnering with companies that have designed a product which sits over here, but we are short of this area. We ourselves are short of the Blaze area. So looking at partners that can bring us in here, which means that the partners that we've already got over here that's got systems, software, processes, that would grow into that, and that is our strategy.
I mean, that's definitely one thing that's missing, and you could do that on the partnership side, but you could also just redress that balance on the team side. So you could actually just put some Blaze people in the team, which would redress that balance.
Show me the people and I'll put them in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like you do need someone on the Blaze side, like on that kind of sales and marketing kind of like area, the promotion plan side. So and it come back to your success, but you definitely are kind of heavy on that side. So by bringing partners in, you don't necessarily dress the balance in the team.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Plenty of food for thought there. Okay, that was a great example as well. Thanks very much, Michelle. All right, what we're going to do now. Oh, and thank you for sharing what the enterprise promise morphed into, because I forgot that was the end of my story, and I had it in my head but didn't actually say it out loud. So Talent Dynamics, we refined the enterprise promise to leading the trust movement. So that went from the #1 business development pathway for accelerating trust and flow to leading the trust movement. That's how the Trust Conference was born. That's how the Trust Awards were born. All of those things came out of what would we be doing differently if we were actually leading the trust movement. And we still had clients coming through, but the company grew by 3 times that year. So every time you want to re-engineer, every time you want to reprocess, you really have to go back to thinking like, what is it that I'm now doing that's different? What is the higher level of thinking? And in order to be at that level, like what would have to change? And sometimes it really freaks you out. Like the minute I thought, well, we're gonna have to go start working with governments, and we're gonna have to go start working with like institutions, not just like companies. I was like, well, how the hell do we even do that? But the minute we created something like the Trust Awards and the Trust Conference, it opened up all the doors and all the gates for those kind of conversations to take place as well. All right, groovy. Okay, so we're going to go into our groups, and you're going to get a chance to work on your partner promise. And for those who are still not super clear which business you are, you can have a conversation around that as well. We're going to be back in this room together, Jade, at 10:02, please. So 10:02. All right, by the power of magic, we shall disappear. This meeting's being recorded. All right, has he come back yet? Do you see him there, Laura? Are they back yet? Is Laura there? I thought Laura was with me.
Me or
Was.
Laura?
Yeah, Laura.
Yeah, I've been
Are
here.
they? Yeah, I said, is Jan back? There he
Jan's
is.
not
All right.
back now,
Okay.
but will be.
All right. So, okay, let's hear from you, Jan. Like, what were the kind of key distinctions that you found during that session?
So the key distinctions was really just to know what type of business is yours, because then it's selecting the partners. It's much easier. So we're looking through Ivana's case and looking like what type of business she's in. She actually opened up an interesting question, like if she wanted to be a contribution-based business, what would they mean, and does she need to start and somewhere, or you know, what is the value that the contribution-based business brings, so that it can partner with someone else? So it was an interesting question, which I kind of couldn't answer. I just you know said that it's you know, start in one of those 4, and then you see how you can connect that value with a specific contribution to start with. But if you want to answer that, I'll be very happy.
Let me just bring up one of my favorite examples of a contribution-based business. There's quite a few, right? But so here's this one. All right, so this is one of my favorite businesses run by one of my favorite people. So this is buy one, give one. So this was created by Paul Dunn and Masami Sato. This was actually created at one of our programs in the olden days. We used to do a program called the Wealth Dynamics Experience or something, I can't remember anyway. And it was
Experience, WDE. Yeah.
No, it actually wasn't that one. But anyway,
EBS, entrepreneurs.
EBS, no?
EBS, no?
Entrepreneur Business School, that's right, Entrepreneur Business School. So we used to do it, like, it was I actually didn't like this program, so I'm glad we stopped doing it. But anyhow, one of the best things that came out of this program was that we created B1G1, which was Paul and Masami, where the whole principle of this business is that Masami and Paul said to me that, did I know that less than 6% of the entire world's giving came from businesses?
And I was like, what? They were like, yeah, it's all individuals, all of the giving, all the charitable donations, all of the foundational work, it's all done by individuals who just give their money, right? And I was like, yeah, we have this thing in the UK called Comic Relief, and we have this thing called like, there's a, what's the kids one that they do as well? I can't remember the name of that one. There's another one. So like twice a year, they'll raise like 30 million pounds just in one evening, like with people just giving their money, like just ringing up and making these donations. And he said businesses give less than 6%. I was shocked because it's the businesses who are creating the most wealth who actually can make the biggest impact in the world. So they created B1G1, which is buy one, give one. So the principle being that every time you sell a cup of coffee, if you're a coffee shop, you would give water to someone in the world. Every time you, let's say, Matt, every time you sell a place in your bank, you actually could like give a microfinance to someone in the world. Let me see who else we got here. Let's say Bea, every time someone joins your female empowerment program, you can educate a kid in a country where they can't receive education. So that you can actually link very specifically what you do, and we'll drop this link into the chat as well. You can link very specifically what you do, and of course you're only giving every time you're actually making as well. And the giving can be tiny. It can start from as little as 10 cents. And so what these guys are doing is they're tracking all the time, like how the giving actually works. How much has like actually been given out as well. So let's just see where they're up to, because they actually have like a live thing. For some reason, I've opened this on the model and not just the B1G1. There we go. Let me just delete that bit there. They actually have like, it's like a tracking thing. Why won't that change? There we go. No, that's not it. B1G1.com. I don't want the buy one, give one model. That's really weird. Why is that not opening? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, so imagine what you could do, if you could change lives every day by just doing what you do. The story of B1G1, create a world full of giving. So 500 million high impact causes, 100% goes to the causes, giving stories that truly resonate. So here, they're currently, this is like always been updated. They've currently, the members have created 238 million. It is, isn't it? 238 million giving impacts. And so this is being updated every single moment. So this is an impact business where they're actually tracking and measuring impact. The United Nations are doing the same thing as well. So if you actually want to become an impact business, it is about like everything that you're doing is creating an impact. So whether you want to turn what you've done into an impact business, or whether you want to have impact that you're measuring as one of your conditions of success, or whether you just want to weave it into your purpose, that's up to you. But this is an actual impact business example.
Mm-hmm. And their business model is based on membership. So, you know, what they live from is that, you know, how they measure their impact is through these impacts, but how they get money is through membership. So you can be a small business membership, you pay on a monthly basis, or you're a larger business, so you pay more, or you're a lifetime member, you pay you know, one lump sum. So that's kind of their business model, but how they measure the success of their business is through impacts. But you can connect it nicely here, I think, with anything that a business does. And that was kind of my recommendation for Ivana, is that look like how your business activity or success is directly linked to some kind of impacts that you're making and you'll be contributing to the world. So there's one, that was one thing. The other one, the big one, which I think which shows up on every you know, masters is the distinction between customers and partners. So we spoke with Lara about, you know, are the wholesalers actually partners or customers, or would she approach them differently if she took them as partners? And you know, think about the end customer who buys the glass as the customer. And so that was an interesting conversation, because it shifts the how we approach things, and it also shifts how we, you know, what we promise to a partner versus the customer. So that was a biggie. And finally, like looking for some examples for partner promises is, and you know, I just gave a few ideas. We don't have a pot of partner promises formulated to choose from, but there are so many examples around us. Like with affiliate partners, there is a certain promise to affiliate partners. There's a certain promise to kind of platform providing partners and so forth. So that would be an area for some inspiration. I don't know if you have anything to add to this. Yeah,
sure. All right, Laura, what would you like to share? Thanks, Sham.
I took some notes with Jonathan's, because I think what we saw with Jonathan was him moving from a particular area of his business, which was more product based, but when you dug down into what he really wanted to be,
Oh, we're losing you, Laura. We lost you, dug down.
and where his passions lie,
lost you.
it became a completely different. Oh, I'll pop it in the chat.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Sorry. we lost you at dug down, and then it was like woohoo, and that was it. All right. But yeah, we did get into like what's the difference and what do you actually want the company to be and how do you want to like make it to grow. All right, groovy. So making sure everyone's got a partner promise. The key thing on your partner promise when you're putting it on there is when you're thinking about your partners, you're thinking, how can I help them to make money? Like, how are they going to make money from my product or service? So a customer is somebody who actually buys your product or service and gives you the money. And a partner is someone who makes money from your product or service. So that's what you want to be thinking, is like, how are they going to generate a return? How are they going to actually receive an impact from being your partner, as opposed to you just trying to find a way to get more partners? It's like, what can you do to allow them to be more successful? So this is the whole difference with green level thinking to kind of the yellow level thinking as well. All right, awesome. Well, we are rocking through it still at quite some pace. So we are going to take an afternoon break now. We'll be back after the afternoon break to have a bit of a catch up on where everyone's at. And then we'll be having Roger for our afternoon mentoring session. So I will see you all after the break. So we've got 30 minutes, Jade. We'll see you later. All right, have a good break.